Alrighty, we are here on the clock live at the College World Series. We are in beautiful Omaha. We have just incredible weather. So hot, windy. It's been insane. Will, how are you feeling?
Fantastic. We finally made it in. Wind is howling right now, looking like it's going straight to left. It's probably a balmy 97 right now. So we've got a really good weather day.
Yeah.
No shortage of heat, no shortage of sun, but that's always a good thing for baseball.
Yeah. Luckily tonight's a night game, so don't have to worry about the heat as much. Tomorrow they're going to be playing at 1:30, so you're going to be looking at like a 98-degree weather game for Game 2. But we want to talk about Game 1. What are we got two red hot teams in Coastal and LSU, right? What's the biggest headline for you going into this series?
Yeah, it's going to be who punches who first for me. Coastal's on a 26-game win streak. If they drop tonight, it's big. How can they respond?
Yeah.
Right. We talked about at length, especially in our podcast, previewing this thing. Can Coastal continue to manufacture runs throughout the game, and can LSU get a big inning with the long ball? Those are the things I'm going to be looking for, but I think a lot of it is going to be in these first 3 or 4 innings, and you're going to know what's going to happen almost right away. You've got Cade Anderson on the mound for LSU.
Yep.
He's been ridiculous, 170 strikeouts in 110 innings. On the other side, we've got Cameron Flukie. Coastal's pitching off today, so we'll see how that plays out and what they're able to do with the bullpen as well, but it's hard. It's really hard to fake Cade Anderson right now.
Yeah, I know, and we talked about last night. Jason was saying that the wind is going to be blowing out. Right now, if you look at the flags out there, you guys can't see it, but flags are blowing in. So, I mean, if you're looking for the big power numbers like the Jared Jones going opposite field, hit it over the wall, it's going to be tough right now with the way the wind's blowing. Been hearing, though, that it's been shifting, so it was like blowing out at one point, and now it's just coming back in. So it's going to be a little bit crazy. I think regardless of what happens, it's just going to be a real fun game. What you mentioned, too, is like Cade versus Cameron. This is going to be a real fun matchup. For me, it's like we talked about, why isn't Coastal going Jacob Morrison? He's obviously the best pitcher on staff, but it's like you're not missing out that much with Cameron Flukie on the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about power stuff. He is the power guy on this Coastal pitching staff.
Yeah.
He's got a live fastball, really good off speed. The biggest thing for him is that he's been able to find the strike zone a lot more consistently this season compared to last season.
Yeah.
But the stuff is definitely there. He's such an exciting 2026 arm, and this is a huge stage for him. And it's a really good opportunity for him to go toe-to-toe with one of the country's best. Cade Anderson has a really good argument right now to be the first overall pick in July. So I'm going to love what I'm going to see out of him, and I'll be curious to see how LSU's offense handles guys that are in the strike zone 75, 80% of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy, and it's like you got Flukie who's going to be able to do this, and then if he struggles and he has to come out like 2 or 3 innings, and you want to save him for Monday, you go to Riley Eichhoff, right? And it's like you got another dominating arm who can come out of the bullpen and really give you 4 or 5 innings and save your bullpen for Game 2. And a lot of times when Jacob Morrison pitches in Game 2, you don't need your bullpen as much because like he's going 7, 8 innings. So it's kind of crazy how deep this Coastal pitching staff is. But for you, who's kind of the biggest X factor for Coastal Carolina?
For Coastal, I'm sticking with Sebastian Alexander. Yeah. He's been so good for them this year, hardly talked about. He's kind of flown under the radar. He's almost leading the team in average. He's way up there in on-base percentage, up there in home runs with Blake Barthol. He's got 10 on the season. He's a guy that can truly change the game with one swing, and even on a day with wind blowing in, he's going to be a big, big X factor for this lineup.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for me, the guys that are going to be the big X factor for Coastal is the relievers. Dominic Carbone, the closer, Landon Johnson. So I think those two guys, just the ability for them to come out after maybe like a Flukie goes 5 innings and just to be able to hold it down, I think that's going to be huge for that team. What about LSU? Who do you got? I know you mentioned Jared Jones on the podcast.
It's going to be Jared Jones again.
Yeah.
You have to go with the guy with light tower power. If anybody's going to hit a ball out to right center today with the wind blowing kind of in towards left field, it's going to be Jared Jones. Yeah. And if he gets anything good to hit, I don't anticipate him missing it much. We've seen him struggle at times, but we saw what he did against Arkansas in that last game. He can hit the top premier pitching in the entire country. He's a big X factor. He can change the game tonight, good or bad.
Yeah, and I'm going to be curious, like for me on LSU in terms of X factors, the way that they use Anthony Ianson. Now, I don't think Ianson's the X factor because he pitches Saturday. It's like, okay, you got Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson in Game 1, Game 2. But if he comes in after Cade Anderson in Game 1, I'm like, well, Kason Evans is the X factor then, right? Because that's a guy who's going to have to bump up to a Sunday game, be able to try to pitch and maybe close it out for LSU or bring them back into the game or back into the series. So I think Kason Evans is a guy I'm going to be looking for. It's like depending on how he rolls, I feel like he's going to be a massive X factor for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can throw Chase Shores into that as well. We don't know what kind of role he's going to have this weekend. He could, for all intents and purposes, he could be the Game 3 starter.
Yeah.
We could also see him close 2 of 3 games this weekend. So he's a guy that has been pitching lights out of the bullpen. I anticipate his role staying there, but can absolutely light it up in any situation they bring him into.
Yeah. The other thing I want to shift to is the coaching staffs, right? You have 2 of the top premier coaches in all of college baseball. Kevin Shaw with Coastal, Jay Johnson with LSU. Both of them have just pushing all the right buttons all series long. So I think for me is like, who's going to push the wrong button first? Like who's going to make that first mistake? It just feels like both these coaches throughout the entire series have been making the right moves. So who do you see someone all of a sudden making that wrong move?
Man, it's really hard to say that. Kevin Shaw has done everything right, and it's hard to even imagine that he can press a wrong button with the way this Coastal pitching staff has done, not just in the postseason, but the entirety of the regular season. They're a top 10, top 5 pitching staff in terms of ERA, in terms of whip. I feel like it doesn't even matter who they bring in. They're going to lock it down. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to challenge hitters. LSU, on the other hand, you have a bunch of guys that are in the upper 9s. Even a guy like Chase Shores. I don't think there's a wrong time to bring a guy like that in when it becomes high leverage.
Yeah.
So I don't really anticipate pushing a wrong button. I think these are just going to be really hard-fought baseball games between 2 really good clubs with fantastic head coaches. And I know Kevin Shaw is in year 1, but he's been around this program forever under Gary Gilmore too. So this isn't really his first rodeo here.
Yeah, and he talked about it in the press conference. It's like he had head coaching offers in the past. This wasn't like Coastal was his first head coaching offer. He wanted the Coastal job.
Yeah.
He wanted it. He loves this team. This is like his passion, and he wants to win for Coastal, which I think is incredible. I guess the last question, and before we kind of wrap up into our predictions, is does a Coastal winning streak come to an end? Which game does it come to an end in? Game 1, game 2?
This is going to feed into my prediction. I do think it's tonight. Cade Anderson on the mound, really, really tough to fade, especially with everybody fresh. Like you said, Ianson could come out of the bullpen. We can see Case and Evans come out of the bullpen. We can see Chase Shores late in this game. They've just got so many good options, and even if someone gets into trouble early, like we saw with Arkansas' Zach Root earlier in this Omaha series, I don't think they have any shortage of top-tier pitching. So I have to ride with Cade Anderson. He's been unbelievable, especially down the stretch. Got to go LSU, so that's going to be my prediction as well. I think the win streak ends here, and I think they have an excellent chance for a bounce back tomorrow with Jacob Morrison on the mound.
I love it. And then, so quick prediction: who wins Game 1?
LSU.
LSU. Okay, I'm going to go LSU too. I think Cade Anderson is just hard to bet against, man. Like every time we talked about, I think you talked about it on the podcast last night. It's like every game that he pitches, it's almost like a guaranteed win. He had that one struggling start, I think, in the regional or super regional. But outside of that, man, he's been lights out. I watched him in the SEC tournament. He was lights out then as well. When you got Cade Anderson on the bump, you've given yourself a good chance to win a baseball game. For you, who wins the series?
I'm going Coastal Carolina in 3 games.
I got Coastal in 3 as well. I think Cade Anderson again takes Game 1, but I think you got Jacob Morrison, who's like, again, we talk about a guy who is like goes out there and gets you a W. You almost know when Jacob Morrison's taking the bump that he's gonna get you a win. He's going to go 7 innings and probably throw 100 and something pitches as well. It's going to be absolutely nuts. And then it's like if you save Riley Eichhoff, you got probably the best pitcher. He's going to be like Eichhoff, maybe Case and Evans in Game 3. I don't know. You got a pretty good chance to win it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talk about that these are truly the best 2 teams remaining in this field, it really is. Yeah. And we're just running down the roster, and it seems like it doesn't matter what name you bring up. You go, oh, yeah, that guy's a dog.
Yeah.
Offense and in the bullpen. It's ridiculous how deep both these teams are, and when you have head coaches as good as these 2 are, you're just going to see great matchup after great matchup, great at-bat after great at-bat.
Yep. And yeah, Tyler talked about it on the podcast last night, who's our MLB draft director at Just Baseball. He's got the solid top 300 board, but like there are so many draft guys in this entire matchup between Coastal and LSU. Like LSU could argue that's maybe more of the first rounders, but like Caden Bonine's close to a first rounder. Jacob Morrison's like pushing his way up into the second, third round. Like it's going to be a lot of talent. We're really excited for it. We're excited to bring you all the content that we're going to be bringing you up. Recaps of the games. We'll have Golden Spikes Awards updates. But it's great to show on dirt. We have the greatest seeds on earth here with Chinook Seedery. But we're excited for it, and we'll be bringing you more updates.
Yeah, absolutely.